Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Let's Paint. I'm your host, Trooper6, and we've got Army Painter True Brass right here. We're back at it. I literally just hit the, stop the last video and hit the play button. We're not pausing. No time off for good behavior. As honestly, I wanted to get to this True Brass. I teased you guys last episode. I was like, you know what? You're going to have to wait, you suckers. You suckers! And here you are, paying off with all of your patience. Unless somebody is brand new to this series and you're starting here, what the hell are you doing? Why would you do that? This is episode 3. Go back and start at episode 1. Come on now. You don't start a brand new show in the middle of the series. You don't do that. Yeah. I got overzealous and I nicked it. It'll be alright. Can always fix it later. Man, this True Brass, even painting over the gray. A little thinner than I expected it to be. But it is a very light shade, and it's been interesting. I don't work with a lot of light colors. I have noticed that for my work. I just don't tend to do that. And that's okay. No one said I had to. But how y'all doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Happy? Healthy? If not, man, you need to fix that. If so, yay! Proud of you. Happy for you. Yeah, that does look kind of cool, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Don't lie to me. You know it looks cool. It looks really cool. And if anybody was curious about this skull that's on the backpack, yes. If you're thinking, that looks kind of familiar, something says Chaplain, you're right. I cut this off of the Chaplain, the Primaris Chaplain's Crozius, or what passes as a Crozius, because, man, that is the smallest, most simplistic Crozius I've ever seen. But yes, I cut this bad boy off of that so that I could save it as some kind of adornment, and here we go. I cut this off months ago. And sometimes you will have your pieces that just sit there for months and months and months, and you're not sure where you're going to use it, when you're going to use it, if you're going to use it. And here we are, using it up. Look at that. Gotta love it. And it works great. Now, why would I cut that off? It's because I was kit bashing something. I had to remove it so that I could kit bash, and it was supposed to be for my wolf priest. Spoiler alert. Supposed to doing a wolf priest for my Vilka Fenrika. That's right. For the Sanguine Heresy, we do not have space wolves. Now, I know space wolves don't consider themselves to be space wolves. If memory serves me correct, they will always call themselves Vilka Fenrika. And I admire that very much of them. To where you can call them space wolves all you want. Because when I was first introduced to space wolves, I believe my buddy said, yeah, these guys are Vilka Fenrika. And I went, space wolves, okay, yeah, sure. Because I believe it was over a text that he was telling me about it. And I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce that shit, man. Screw that. And here I am. And if I did still pronounce it wrong, bite me. Bite me, fight me, do whatever you want to me. Feel free to correct me, and you better spell it phonetically. You better tell me exactly. Write it in crayon. I want to know. How do you pronounce that? And then proceed to shut the hell up, because, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing anyway. Because we are talking about the Vilka Fenrika. And I was going to try to stick with some old school colors with them, of course. Using the gray, using their gray pauldrons, and then putting the red the red logo on them. It looks a lot better in artwork, but I haven't found a way to pull it off on a model yet. It just doesn't really stand out. So I have done white pauldrons because this is our heresy and we can do whatever we want. I did have a standard Vilka Fenrica planned for the series one day, or planned for the show. It'll probably have to be for next season because recording this one, if this is already going into September, I have enough of other stuff lined up to where we might not even see Vilka in this season. If we do, that's fantastic. That means I'm doing something right. Or maybe I just got fed up with it and I was like, no, I want this. And maybe even you guys could request it. Now remember, it might be too late. Or I might have gotten ahead of you and did it anyway. But either way, that doesn't mean that you guys can't request things. Well, hell, you already saw that. That's how we got our Obsidian Suns. And that's how you got it as soon as you got it. It's like I couldn't give it to you any sooner than I did. I just couldn't do that. I was not able to do that. I had to let the Mega Man X series run because that was going to introduce this angle, this new setup. And I hope you guys are liking it because it's basically the only thing we've been working with now. And I've already pre-recorded for months, so it's not like we're going back now. But if you guys tell me enough, I can always go back for next season. And we could just let season 3 be the experimental season. And it'll be terribly experimental since not a lot of people have I don't know. The 40K stuff always performs better. It always does, because I know that it's a main staple of the hobby. Even my quote-unquote Trench Crusade stuff was reaching an audience, and that's because Trench Crusade is brand new. People were really curious about it. I'm still curious about it. However, that being said, I know it didn't do as well as it could have because I wasn't doing traditional stuff. I was proxying a big old model. Like the model was way too big to be used in game. And I really didn't care. I was basically doing like a big statue of it, which is just fine to me. And I know with something new like Trench Crusade, people are really looking for these painting guides. And honestly, I think that is definitely a game that you'd be able to paint however the fuck you want. I'm sure certain factions do have their colors, man, but shit, do whatever. Do whatever works for you. And here we go. We're getting to the chest piece. I forgot to get that belt. The belt buckle. Oof. You know what? Since we've been painting down here, let's just move the damn camera. Sorry it took this long, but here we are. Here we are. Get that nice bright brass going. And it is bright, and it's awesome. I just nicked that belly right up, didn't I? Let's use a dry... Nope. Nope. And it's got me too flustered to ignore it. It's got me way too flustered to ignore that. There we go. Trust me, it's subtle enough. It will work. You just got to let the paint do its job. And we have to be not so careless when we're painting this. Whew. As soon as I said that, I almost was completely careless. We're going with the same vibe that we had for the other one. Of what Games Workshop was showcasing when it came to the models. how they had some, like one guy had a brass chest and everything, and I did like the idea. And honestly, it wasn't until I was really starting to look more into doing the Black Shields for you guys that I realized something about my Obsidian Suns. Dude, it's a no-brainer that my color scheme for the Obsidian Suns works as well as it does. You can look at all of these and just black, bronze, or brass, it goes well together. It does. You throw a little red accent in there, oof. You throw some blue in there as a nice contrast, oof. Like it just works, man. Just works. Like Jerry Seinfeld said about flex tape, it just works. Just get it. I've still yet to find myself in a need of something like flex glue or flex tape. But I won't hesitate to get it if I ever do need it. I have enough confidence in Phil Swift. Even though, Phil, you make me angry, Phil. No, I will not let that go. Because when Phil makes you angry, you must let him know. I wonder if he ever really receives that in his personal life. Because somebody had seen the video. I really, really wonder. I also love how JonTron had made a joke out of the fact that his flex went quote-unquote viral. But I'm sorry, it was hilarious. It really, really was. And this is coming from somebody who misses old JonTron. And that's not to say that his new stuff isn't good or anything like that. I just really enjoy his video game stuff. I do. I'm an ancient JonTron lover. Because it does feel like it's ancient work now. I have wondered a couple of times, is he ever going to get back to doing video games? Like, will he do another one day? Because I know he's said it many times. He's always wanting to move forward, and he's incredibly critical of himself and his work and whatnot. And he doesn't like to put a video out until he's 100% satisfied with it. Because he doesn't want to leave himself any room to go, we could have done that better, but we put it out anyway. Like, he doesn't, as far as I can understand from what he has said, that's not how he likes to operate. And I can understand that very much. And I know we've put, that's like the third layer, more or less, on that chest right there. There's a reason for that. Don't you worry. There's a reason. When it comes to putting on our transfers, you bet your butt something's going right there. And the thinning solution could really screw us up. It could really, really screw us up. Like, I don't like doing it for the Black Templar stuff, because Black Templar already goes on pretty thin. And I don't like to run into any of those kind of possibilities where it's going to thin out to the point where now it looks like an unfinished model. Like, I don't need the paint coming off. And you know what? My mind was wandering. We can give a shout out to my wife and give her a big old thank you for giving us this model. She has some projects that she was trying to do, and she needed one Primaris Marine. And she said, you go pick a box that you would be fine painting. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, I just need the one model. I really do. And I don't want to get something that you won't use, because I'm only going to use the one model, and I'd rather it be something from a pack that you will be using. I was like, that is very sweet. That really is. You know, all that just for one model. And the model that it was amazing. She did amazing work on that. It has to do with Astaroth the Grim. But she also was not the best at taking pictures. And I'm like, this, I feel like, would get a lot of attention. It would gain a lot of traction. And I don't think that it did, because the pictures that she took, no offense to her, just did not showcase the model in the best lighting that it could. And I don't mean literally the lighting. I mean, I do, but at the same time, like, it could have been shown off a lot better. And I was thinking about doing it for her, but then I didn't want people to think that I was doing it or that I was trying to get the engagement out of showcasing it. I don't know. Things like that get muddled to me. I'm just not sure of what to do half the time. Now, I got this moon dust out. It's a pale yellow. And get kind of powdery sometimes. Well, because, no pun intended from the dust. But the reason I got that out is because we did paint these eye lenses, and I'm going to do that. Very subtle. There you go. That's it. That's all you need. So I can show you guys. Hopefully you really do see that. If not, well, then we're just a dork, aren't we? Just a big old fat dookie dork. A big old fat dookie dork. And what was it? I was going to get that glistening blood back out. We don't need much, so we're not even going to pour it out. I don't know why I do that when I pour out the glistening blood for pieces that are going to be as small as a purity seal. Because, yeah, purity seals, right? Oftentimes they're red, and of course it's wax. Why wouldn't you use glistening blood? It goes on glossy. Comes out looking like wax. It's perfect. Perfect. Speaking of perfect, that leather looks so good, in my opinion. In my opinion. All right, but what do you say? I'm taking another look here real quick just to make sure that we're not being an idiot. And I am going to put one more layer on this shin. Brighten it up. Some of the brush strokes I don't mind because it actually does look like some worn metal. That it doesn't look completely smooth, and it looks a little rough. And that's not exactly a terrible thing to do. And we're going to do one more to this chest because we need things to... we're going to let things dry after this. But why not? Why not put it together for you, and then we'll do one last episode. You know what? No. I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll put things together, and then slap our transfers onto there. And before we cut, of course, I'm using a Faber-Castell felt pen. Is a very fine point. And I like to do purity seals. Alright. Now, with purity seals, I can show you for like a bigger example. I'll just do it like this. All right, so imagine your purity seal goes right here. Now what I'm doing is dotting, but also dragging it along, but trying to squiggle at the same time. So you're getting some dots, some squiggles, to make it look like it is some kind of writing. And then you also want to do, sections, because not everything on a purity seal is going to be so lined up. But you do want to try to even that out. Sometimes I even throw like an X in there for something. You can throw transfers on there, and there you go. And you have your little purity seal. And it could be that simple. It doesn't have to be what I've seen people do, and they take the most fine tip brush where even an ant would have a hard time balancing on it, and they are almost making actual writing with it, and you don't have to go that crazy with it. You can, but it could be that simple too. And with that, I'll bid you guys a very fond farewell. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Stay happy, stay healthy. May the Void Father guide your brush. Later.